Hello, we're back. I'm Kieran Miles from ClipCap Productions. We are writing a script. I have no idea what we're going to do with it, but we're writing it. Okay, so where were we? So in case you hadn't caught up or watched the last episode, we're with Dylan. He's just woken up his friend Roy. He's just run off to go and meet his mate Leah. So what do we want Dylan to do? I don't know. Okay, no, this is the end of scene 1, so we're on scene 2 now. So that's end scene 2. I don't know what this script is called, by the way. We're just writing it, you know. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna go over to his friend's house and hold on. Just fucking find out. Just wait. Pressuring me, man. Sorry, I'm a bit overstimulated today. Maybe I shouldn't drink this Monster Energy, but I'm going to anyway. We want another shot. We want a shot of Dylan. We want a shot of Dylan walking through the same street, jogging. I don't know why I did that. Jogging. Jogging to his friend's front door. We want the camera next to the door, like on the porch. So as he comes, it like shows like porch bits, and then it goes out, and then you see Dylan's mum. Not Dylan's mum. What the fuck am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. Hold on. We want a shot of Dylan walking through the same street, jogging to his... Why have I put walking through the same street, jogging to his friend's house? Jogging through the same street. Jogging to his friend. I can't write. We see a shot of Dylan from his friend's porch. Because I want it so, like, say this is the frame. Hold on, I actually need to see myself. So say this is the frame. Say I'm Dylan for a second. The camera would be about there. There? No, where the fuck am I? Here? And you go there, that angle, like, I don't know. Oh, this looks fucking weird, but you know what I mean. That sort. This. I don't want to show off my room, but say it's like that way. Dylan's walking, jogging, whatever that is. That's walking. Apparently, he's walking. The camera's gonna go with him, so it's gonna go to get to there, and then when he's run up the steps, knock on the door like that. That's how I think I want it to be. That's what I want it to be. So let's do that. We want a shot of Dylan from his friend's porch. How do I explain that? We want a shot of Dylan from his friend's porch, following him until he arrives and knocks on the door. Obviously not like this camera. It would have to be a wider shot. Like, this is on digital zoom though. Actually, no, it's on digital like movie mode. Whatever. I'm now looking at myself because I've put myself in frame. It's on digital like movie mode. So this thing here, it's got 3 settings. It's got normal recording. Then it's got like quality improvement, which is what this is on currently. And then you've got movie quality improvement, which like zooms it radically. It would literally be like here if I use that one. But instead you're seeing that much. I don't need you to see that much. I think that would be good. Knocks on the door. The shot will then change to behind Dylan of the front door as it answers, which will change. Wait, when he knocks on the door, the next shot will be from behind Dylan as the door opens to see Leah's mother standing there looking disheveled, crying. No. 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 I've got a better idea. The next shot is from behind Dylan, facing the door. There's no answer. He waits a moment and knocks again. Still no answer. He waits a moment. So how long do we want that moment? Not that long, that's too long. Yo, that's how long we want it. That's how long we want it, because then that gives him time to knock, wait, so anticipate the door to open, because obviously you need to take in these things into consideration, because for an actor, it's really awkward when there's no anticipation. Like, if they know that no one's going to answer the door, it's just, you know, and that's just shit. No one wants that. But if they just, like, they're not expecting that door to open, then, so I need to add a moment. So he waits a moment so that the actor can have a moment to anticipate the door opening, waiting for the door to open, realising the door isn't going to open, or maybe turning around and waiting for the door to open. I don't know if it's going to be really slow starting, actually, now that I've said it out loud, but I don't give a fuck. It will be how I want it to be. Because me is cool, mate. And I think it should be so... he's like... He knocks. And I don't know, I don't condone smoking, but... It's cool. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I said it. It's fucking cool. Fucking blame me all you want, mate. I shouldn't say that. But I want him to smoke because I feel like it's a teenage grunge thing. If you're telling me you didn't smoke as a teenager, you're actually just boring, mate. So I need to be quiet. But there's still no answer. I'm joking. You're not boring. Please don't take that to heart. I feel bad now. The next shot is from behind Dylan, facing the door. There's no answer. He waits a moment, knocks. Again, still no answer. He waits a moment to anticipate the door opening. Then, because here's the thing, with a conscious decision, right, you need to remember it's not always seen, right? But you get it as an audience member. You don't even realise you get it because it's subconscious, right? But you'll see it. If he knocks on that door and is anticipating to come in, waits a moment, knocks again, still anticipating the door to open. Is it going to open? I assume it will. I'm just going to wait here. You know, like, I can't do it because I'm not acting right now, but I'm just showing you what I mean. Sort of, I hope. But that's a decision. That's an actor's decision. And how that decision... is made changes the reaction or the reaction of the audience or what they perceive. So if you're not acting very well and you do this and you're not in it, like in the character, sorry, it's going to be awkward because you're going to knock and then you're not going, is the door going to open, is it not? You're going, I need to knock twice. And then instead of going, is someone answering, is someone not? In your head you're going, no one's going to answer. Guess I'm just going to turn around and smoke my cigarette. And that is a very different, you can very visibly see the difference on a face. Even though it is all actions and no words, you can very, very easily spot the difference between those two actors. I'm not saying there isn't a way around getting into character when you can't, or faking it. You know, you can, but it's just harder. And the audience will most likely, without even realising it, notice it. Subconsciously notice it. I don't know how else to word it, but they'll know. There is a difference. So that's why you need to write these things in. Well, at least I feel I need to, because otherwise I'm going to read this back and I'm not going to remember that I wanted the character to wait a moment. So I'm going to think he's knocked. He's knocked twice and now he's just walked off. Like, and I can't remember what I envisioned. So that's why I write it like this. Also, so you get the fucking gist of what I'm saying to you. So there's no confusion. But there's still no answer. He waits a moment to anticipate the door opening and then decides In his head, he is going to wait on the porch. On the porch and smoke a cigarette. Cigarettes, daydreams. Fuck my life into smoking a cigarette. Why have I written that? Smoking a cigarette. So it's going to be a long shot, because I love holding shots. It's my favourite thing. I love it. You know when people just hold shots? I don't, because the average length is 3 seconds, and it annoys me. I don't know why it annoys me. I just feel like you can't... There's so many scenes where they hold shots for so long, and you think, you've done that right. Yeah? There's so many other scenes where it's like, bah, 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 bah. Not to name any films. I'm not gonna. But Taken 3 is need to stop making shit jokes in these fucking videos. He smokes a cigarette. He's smoking a cigarette. And we're gonna annoyingly hear yo from Roy. And you're gonna think, how the fuck does he hear this quick? Kieran, you're not making sense. Fucking hold on. Hold on. What the fuck was I saying? He's gonna go to say, how are you out here already? And he's gonna be like, yo, and he's gonna go, how are you, what? You ain't brushed your teeth, boy. How are you haven't brushed your teeth, mate?
Isn't making sense because he's also gonna have to walk there.
No, we're gonna fuck that off. Let's just ignore that. I'm just writing shit. He's gonna smoke a cigarette. And then what he's gonna do is he's gonna fuck off. He's gonna walk off because there's no answer. Now you're gonna think that's a really boring scene. And you'd be right. Yeah, he's just gonna leave, but it feels really bleak, doesn't it? It just seems like such a... That's an odd thing to put in there. We need a natural way of doing it. We need to add a moment. He's going to have a moment by himself on the doorstep thinking of something that we don't know what. We need to reveal something about him. That's probably the best way I want to play it. I don't know what, though. What we're going to reveal. Should it be deep? I don't want it to be too deep, like, off the bat, because it's going to make it's really going to set a tone to it. And I don't necessarily want to commit to it having a certain tone just yet. I kind of want the start of it to be quite like hearted and bubbly, but I don't know how to do that. I want it so he's got like something he's lost already that he can reminisce on, and the audience are like, what's that? Who's that? But I don't know how. It's been fucking like 10 minutes since I got to this line, and I don't know what I want it to be. What do I want it to be? Maybe a lost loved one? That's just a bit fucking cliche. I don't like that. No, fuck that idea. I'm an idiot. So I had a moment, I took a moment to myself, and I realised phones exist. Shock to me, I don't know. So we're gonna have him call her. Dylan takes his phone out of his pocket and calls Leah. So we're gonna have that. There's no answer. Don't know why it's in caps. That should not be in caps. We don't actually need to make that. I don't know why I put that. So he walks down a few steps from her porch and shouts up to her bedroom window. Do they do it in movies where it goes straight to voicemail so you don't have to sit there actually listening to the ringing and it's really boring? Because when you call someone in real life, it rings and then it goes to voicemail, but in movies it always goes straight to voicemail. Hey, this is Bethany, leave a message. And it's like, whose phone's always off? Everyone I've ever met, their phone's always fucking on unless you're over 50, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't understand why they do that. It must be because they don't want the audience to have to sit there listening to the ringing. But that would make it realistic. But if you go too far, would it become naturalistic? And then does that then become boring? Because because naturalism is like all real time. Like say for example, a show that's set in consecutive minutes. So the 90 minutes that you watch this is the same amount of time for the character. So it's been 90 minutes in that character's world, but a fucking hectic 90 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, a good example, I think, is to an extent, because there are flashback scenes which kind of breaks it, but sort of not really, with the naturalism in Inspector Ghoul. Because in Inspector Ghoul, which most people in the UK know from English GCSE, it's all set in a dining room over the course of like an hour, as the inspector picks apart each one of them individually and goes over all of their flaws in their stories, right? But because it's all through flashback scenes, it kind of ruins the naturalism that you get on it. Because if you go too far with naturalism, it's boring. It's as plain and simple as that. Because, and I'll tell you why. It's not an opinion thing. There's a difference between realism and naturalism. Realism is, I don't know why I'm explaining this as if like whoever's watching has never, but I'm going to explain it because I want to. Realism is when something is realistic. So James Bond ish. No, that's too far because it's too actiony. EastEnders. EastEnders is realistic. Inspector Ghoul is naturalistic, except from the flashback scenes, which are realistic, because they're flashback scenes, right? You don't naturally see flashbacks unless you're the character. Because here's what the flashback scene would look like. I'll do it. I'll act it right now. Here's what a flashback scene would look like if it was in naturalism. I've just remembered something. That's what it would look like. That's how. There would be no flashback scene. It would be them thinking of the flashback. Plain and simple. So with this, do they do that? I'm asking. Comment down below if you know. Do they do that because it's too far naturalistic and it becomes boring if you have to hear the phone call? Or is it just still realistic? Or is it realistic if the phone's just off? But then again, that's too realistic for me. To me, that breaks the immersion. Because no one's phone is ever off. Ever. Am I being stupid? I don't know. But we're going to have it so it rings. Because I like the naturalism approach more. Maybe you'll just have it ring. And then as it's ringing, he shouts up. That's a better idea. Yeah, I think that works. I think that's nice. And then he's going to walk back down the stairs. No, he's down the stairs, isn't he? Because he's just shouted over, Leia! Look up because you're anticipating the window to open or something. When he shouts up, maybe you should shout and then the camera pans up with the shout to like lock on the window where he's looking. Like as he looks up, like not so he's out of frame, just the camera pans up with with Dylan's head still in shot. So it looks up, and as he looks back down, he sees a speck of blood and gets concerned. That's a good. I like that. I love that. That's fucking wicked. He's gonna do exactly that. He's gonna look up. He's gonna look up. He's gonna look up for the third time. He's gonna look up. That's 4. And then the camera's gonna go with him, so it's gonna be like, that's the camera. I don't know what this is, but it's gonna go like that. Shot from the back of his head up at the window. He's gonna look back down. Then bang, zoom shot of blood. Back on his face, look of concern. Back to the blood. No. Look of concern, back to the blood. As he goes to get closer to it, Roy appears. I love that. As he shouts, the camera will look up to the window, keeping Dylan in shot, mainly because that's what he's preserving. Is that what the fuck is the word? Perceiving. Keeping Dylan in shot. Keeping Dylan in shot. Keeping Dylan's head in shot. Oh, all my keys are changed because it's a different keyboard. Keeping Dylan's head and shoulders. Maybe not shoulders. Keeping Dylan's head in shot. To show the audience that is what he is perceiving. I like to write this stuff as well just because it makes me feel clever. Before the camera pans back down as he hangs up the phone and puts it back in his pocket, Dylan will see a spot of blood on the porch somewhere where he hasn't stood. So like, not like, if, because obviously if he's walked up past it and walked back down past it, he would have seen it already. But if it's like somewhere more to the left, he wouldn't have seen it because he would have come from the right. And the camera will zoom towards it. Okay, right. Or maybe it's just like zooming on the back of his head, past the shoulder, change the what's in. Yeah, I like that. And the camera will zoom in. The camera will zoom in towards it, past Dylan's head, keeping Dylan in focus until the focal range swaps. I think that's how you word it. The focal range swaps onto the blood, making Dylan's head go out of focus. And then we're going to have a shot of the blood. Shot of the blood on the step. Shot of the blood on the porch with the camera facing towards the house. So again, from Dylan's perspective, because if you take it from the other angle, it kind of separates that's what he's looking at. I feel, I don't know, but this is what I like to do. The camera facing towards the house. Again, showing it's from Dylan's perspective. Close up shot of Dylan's fucking face. Of Dylan's face, looking concerned. Closer shot of the blood. Again, the closer shot. Dylan is now really focused on it. He's like hyper focused on it. He's like really concerned. What did I say? I wanted it to be shot of him, shot of the blood. I don't know. What did I say? I can't watch the video because it's recording. Hold on, I need to go back. So we're going to make this, that, green. Red. I don't like that. Back to blood. Close shot of the blood. Back to Dylan's face. Back to blood. Then we need a different shot. We want probably We want to go back to this shot, really. No, we don't. I don't know what I'm talking about. We want the shot of Roy, but where do we want the shot of Roy from? From the house? From inside the fucking window. That's where we want it. From inside the window of Leah's mum looking through. And we're going to have that as back to shot from behind Duncan. Sorry, someone was at my door. Okay, so where's Leah stepped in? And then shot from inside the... It needs to be a different colour because I'm changing the shot. Shot from inside the window with Leah's mum looking through. We see the back of her head as she looks out. Okay, that looks good. I like that. Okay, so here's what we've got. Here's scene 2. We want a shot of Dylan from his friend's porch following him until he arrives and knocks on the door. The next shot is from behind Dylan, facing the door. There's no answer. He waits a moment and knocks again. Still no answer. He waits a moment to anticipate the door opening, then decides in his head he's going to wait on the porch to smoke a cigarette. Dylan takes his phone out of his pocket, calls Leah, walks down a few steps from her porch and shouts to her bedroom window, Leah. As he shouts, the camera will look up to the window, keeping Dylan's head in shot to show the audience that it is what he is perceiving, before the camera pans back down as he hangs up the phone and puts it back in his pocket. Dylan will spot blood on the porch, somewhere where he hasn't seen, and the camera will zoom towards it past Dylan's head, keeping Dylan's head in focus until the focal range drops onto the blood, making Dylan's head go out of focus. And then, so here's what it's going to be like: close-up shot of the blood. House, again showing it from Dylan's perspective. Close-up shot of Dylan's face looking concerned. Closer shot of the blood. Back to Dylan's face. Back to blood. Back to show from behind Duncan. Someone's peeking through the downstairs window. Where's Leah slept in? Yeah, okay. I think that's that. And then obviously end scene. As the curtain shuts, so that's the end of the scene because it's going to go to darkness, and then it's going to be the next scene, which we will wait for another time. But yeah, that's the scene, guys. That is the fucking scene. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to see more of this, then keep watching. Do you know what I mean? See the next one. It's gonna come. So yeah, but hope you enjoyed very much. Yeah, in a bit, mate.